What's up, everybody? Weston here with the Hidden Given, back with another Daily Deck Tech video, and back with another viewer request. And today we have Oviya Automech Artisan as our viewer request. And before we get into that, if you like my Daily Deck Tech videos, feel free to subscribe, only if you feel I've earned it. I also do Magic for the Working Class, which are budgety, under $100 deck techs. I do Historical Commander, where I turn historical figures into commander decks, give you a history lesson on the individual, and then build a deck around them. And then I do some random discussion content when I feel like it. But if you like all of that, again, feel free to subscribe, only if you feel I've earned it. And now, without further ado, let's get straight into it. So, I was asked on YouTube, there was given no budget or anything like that. It was a simple comment simply saying, let's see what you can do with Oviya. Now, I could have gone well over $1,000. I could have thrown Gaia's Cradle in here and stuff, but I stopped myself just shy of $550. When somebody gives me no budget, I try to keep it under $600 because I don't know what people have. But we have Oviya Automech Artisan. She's a 1/2 for 4. Each creature that's attacking one of your opponents has trample. Note that that is not asymmetrical. If one of your opponents attacks another one of your opponents, it will have trample as well. Then you can pay a green and Elvish Piper something into play. You pay a green and tap it. You may put a creature or vehicle card from your hand onto the battlefield. If you put an artifact onto the battlefield this way, put 2/1/1 counters on it. Now, I'm gonna fully disclose something. I am not a huge fan of vehicles. I do not enjoy playing them when I do that, so a little bit of bias here. I did go the big creature route rather than the vehicles route, but feel free to go the vehicles route if you so choose. For creatures, you're gonna see that like the average converted mana cost in this deck is like 10 trillion. We got Ancient Adamantoids. It's Vigilance Ward 3, 820 for 8. Damage isn't removed from this creature during cleanup steps, and all damage that would be dealt to you and other permanents you control is dealt to this creature instead. And when this creature dies, exile it and create 10 tap treasure tokens, which is pretty neat. So this is, think of it as a giant shield. We have Apex Altasaur. When Apex Altasaur enters the battlefield, it fights up to 1 target creature, and then it has Enrage. So think of it as like a Green Wrath effect. It will continue fighting on down the board until it's dead, or until everybody's stuff is dead. Apex Devastator. Now, you don't get the Cascade if you Elvish Piper it into play, but we're in green, and I put a ton of ramp in here as a backup plan if people rightfully kill our commander. So then it has Cascade, 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 and is also a 10/10. We have Craterhoof Behemoth, classic win con here, although any one of these things can just end the game on their own. Darksteel Colossus. He's an oldie but goodie, and, you know, since we have old Blightsteel Colossus, Darksteel's down to $1. It's an 11/11 for 11 with Trample and Indestructible, and it shuffles into your library when if it would be put into your graveyard. Diamond Weapon. It costs 1 less to cast for each permanent card in your graveyard. Reach and prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to Diamond Weapon. Blightsteel is just Darksteel, except it's an 11/11 for 12 with Infect. We do have some mana dorks with Fyndhorn Elves, Llanowar Elves, Sakura Tribe Elder. We also have ourselves Savala of the Wilds, which adds X mana, where X is equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. We do have Seeker of Skybreak, which will let us untap our Oviya. We have Galactus, Devourer of Worlds, 12/12 for 10. Flying, Trample, Indestructible. When he enters, exile a permanent, and Insatiable Hunger. Galactus attacks an opponent with the most life among your opponents each combat if able, unless you control a creature named Silver Surfer. So he goes after big planets. Galta Stampede Tyrant. This one poops out your entire hand of creatures onto the battlefield. Impervious Great Worm is a Convoke, 16/16 for Indestructible. Kodama of the East Tree. Whenever another permanent you control enters, if it wasn't put onto the battlefield with this ability, you may put a permanent card with equal or less mana value from your hand onto the battlefield. Kolga, when it enters, it's going to fight up to 1 target creature you don't control. When it attacks, destroy an artifact or enchantment the defending player controls, and you can return target human you control to its owner's hand. Kolga gains Indestructible. We do have like a couple humans at most. We have Kona. At the beginning of your second main phase, if it's tapped, you get to put a big old creature into play. Marvin is here to essentially copy this ability. He has the activated abilities of all creatures you control. So you get to do 2 Elvish Piper things. Meteor Golem, it shoots a permanent when it comes into play. Ogier Kaslam, I love this card a lot. Deepest Growth. When it deals combat damage to a player, reveal that many cards from the top of your library. You may put a creature card and or a land card from among them onto the battlefield. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. I also really like these this art. Pathrazer of Ulamog. This is where I started getting cheap, so we put Pathrazer in here instead of like a Kozilek. It's Annihilator 3/9/9 for 11. Can't be blocked except by 3 or more creatures. Quilled Great Worm, Trample, and whenever a creature you control deals combat damage during your turn, you put that many 1/1 counters on it. You may cast this card from your graveyard by removing 6 counters from among creatures you control. Radagast lowers the cost of our creatures. Sereth, our untapped creatures have hexproof, our tapped creatures have death touch, and you can pay 1 to tap or to untap a creature. Seedborn Muse is one of our 3 game changers today. Yes, Weston actually included game changers. Untap all permanents you control during each other player's untap step. Terastodon, when it enters, you may destroy up to 3 target non-creature permanents. For each of those permanents, they get an elephant. The Walls of Ba Sing Se. Other permanents are indestructible, and it's a 0/30 wall. Titan of Industry. Reach, trample, and when this creature enters, choose 2, destroy an artifact or enchantment. Target player gains 5 life, create a rhino, or put a shield counter on a creature you control. And we also have Worldspine Worm, a 15/15 for 11. Trample, and when it dies, create 3 5/5 green worm creature tokens, and when it is put into the graveyard from anywhere, shuffle it into its owner's library. For our sorceries, we have our second our second game changer here with Natural Order. Stack a green creature, search your library for a green creature, put it into the battlefield. We have Last March of the Ents. I have in my Azusa deck Natural Ordered a Llanowar Elf on turn 3 to get a Galta Stampede Tyrant into play, dropping like 3 Eldrazi. This card's gross. Last March of the Ents can't be countered. Draw cards equal to the greatest toughness among creatures you control. Then put any number of creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield. Then we have 4 ramp spells, Rampant Growth, Cultivate, Kodamas Reach, and Nature's Lore. Instance, we have some more ramp with Harrow and Entish Restoration. We have Archdruid's Charm, which can ramp you, or you can put a 1/1 counter on a creature you control and have it bite something, or exile an artifact or enchantment. We have Biosynthetic Burst. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control, it gains reach, trample, indestructible, and you untap it. So you can do your things twice with your commander. Gaia's Gift, a protection spell, indestructible, haste, etc. Gift of the Viper is going to put a 1/1 counter, a reach counter, and death touch counter on a creature and untap it. Untap your Oviya. Inspiring Call, another protection. Here's all the protection spells. Inspiring Call, Overprotect, Snakeskin Veil, Rapid Vigor will regenerate it. We have Ram Through for a bite spell. We have Worldly Tutor as a tutor. That's our 3rd game changer. Smuggler's Surprise also is a protection spell. Return of the Wild Speaker, you can either overrun or you can minus the trample or draw cards equal to the greatest power among human creatures you control. And we have Vitalize, untap all creatures you control. We do have Isokran Scepter. You can put Vitalize on it to untap all your creatures every turn to get extra activations. Asceticism, creatures you control have Hexproof. Colossal Majesty, at the beginning of your upkeep, control a creature power 4 or greater, draw a card. Concurrent Crossroads, this is symmetrical, please be aware. All creatures have haste. Greater Good, sack a creature, draw cards equal to the power, discard 3 cards. Growing Rites of Illamok is a Gaia's Cradle we have at home. Hardened Scales puts extra counters on things. Lurking Predators, whenever an opponent casts a spell, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, put it on the battlefield, otherwise you may put that card on the bottom of your library. Utopia Sprawl and Wild Growth for ramp. Lands, another Gaia's Cradle we have at home, and forests. This one's pretty simple and pretty straightforward. Green is a very straightforward thing. And then for our playtesting, let's go ahead, zoom out by 1, draw for turn. Draw, we're going to drop a Llanowar Elves. Next turn, we're going to draw. I'm going to Archdruid's Charm. I'm going to search my library for a creature land card, reveal it. I'm going to reveal a land card and puts it onto the battlefield tapped. I'm going to grab Devendo. May as well. Comes onto the battlefield tapped. Next turn. Move these down a hair. There we go. We have a Vendo in play. We're going to play this Forest. This is in the graveyard. And 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go ahead and play Oviya. Next turn. I'm going to play this. I'm going to play Hardened Scales. And I'm going to pass turn. At the end of my opponent's turn, I am going to tap her to put him onto the battlefield, which will bring him in with 3 1/1 counters. All right. We're going to bring in the beats with a 14/14 Indestructible Infect Blightsteel. It's going to connect. It's going to kill someone right away. Forest. Oh my. We're going to hold on to the Concordant Crossroads. We're just going to keep swinging away. Remember, this was super early in the game, so let's see what another opening hand is. One land. That's poop. We'll take a mulligan. This is a playable hand. We're going to go Forest. Next turn. Forest. We're going to ramp. We got a Forest. We're going to play this Forest. We're going to play Oviya. Next turn, I'm going to go ahead and use Oviya to drop down Impervious Great Worm. It's going to take some of the heat off Oviya. And then we are going to Entish Restoration, sacking this. We get to search for 3 forests. Next turn. And there we go. We get to do all this fun stuff, right? So on this turn, we're going to do Impervious Great Worm attacking in. And then drop in the Meteor Golem. Drop in Seedborn Muse. We untap during our opponent's turn. We're going to drop down Apex Altasaur on their turn, killing all their stuff. Get to untap. We're going to play Kodama. And then we're going to Archdruid's Charm. Oh, what's a creature I want? Pathrazer of Ulamog is good. We have so many things. Sure, we're just going to get Galactus. Close and shuffle. And we're going to drop that on our opponent's turn. And we're going to ram through something. Next turn. Harrow, swing away. As you can see, it's the typical green deck. Very explosive. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. As always, I'm Weston with the Hidden Gibbon, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.